tuned into Quick Charge, the high voltage podcast bringing you the top stories in electric vehicles and sustainable energy daily. And it's all powered by Electrek. Welcome back to Quick Charge. It's July 1st, 2025, and I'm your host, Joe Boris. Longtime listeners of Quick Charge have probably wondered where I've been all month. Well, frankly, I've been trying to catch up with some pretty disturbing stuff happening in the news every flippin' day and kind of just hoping it was going to calm down. But since it looks like it's never, ever going to calm down and things are just going to be horrible forever, we are back to a daily format starting today, July 1st. Now we're going to start off with this story. Tesla crashes after Trump threatens to set Doge on Elon Musk. Tesla stock crashed by as much as 5% in pre-market trading this morning after President Trump threatened to set Doge on Elon Musk, who has been criticizing his big, beautiful bill. After being kindly shown the door to the White House last month, Musk had a brief moment of clarity and started to criticize Trump and the Republican Party, which he helped elect with almost $300 million of his own money in 2024 elections. Musk highlighted how Trump's big, beautiful bill is expected to increase the deficit and debt, the Tesla CEO even linking Trump to Jeffrey Epstein, something that has been well known for decades, but Musk conveniently ignored as he was backing the president and wearing hats that read, "Trump was right about everything." Musk quickly calmed down and even apologized for going too far and started praising Trump again. But that didn't last long. Over the last few days, as the Senate attempts to pass Trump's budget and tax bill, Musk has renewed his efforts to halt the legislation. The CEO appeared to renew the attacks after the Senate updated the bill to kill the EV incentives sooner and to increase taxes on both solar and wind projects. However, Musk said that he doesn't mind EV and renewable energy subsidies going away, but he believes that fossil fuel subsidies should also be removed, which is not in the plans at all. Can't say I disagree with Elon there, to be frank. Trump campaigned on Musk's money, claiming that he would get America to drill, baby, drill again. The CEO went as far as threatening any senator who voted for the bill, all Republicans, to face his money in their next primary. He added that if the bill passes, he will create a new America party. Musk's attacks have focused on the bill itself and the Republicans voting for it, but Trump likes to call it his bill and, unsurprisingly, is unhappy with Elon. Last night, he took to Truth Social to highlight again that Musk, quote, would probably have to close up shop and head back to South Africa without U.S. government subsidies. Hard to argue with that. There's a lot of subsidies and carbon credits being sold that are propping up and always have, frankly, propped up Tesla's profit margins. So, hey, we'll see what happens with that. Now, some good news for Tesla. Elon Musk claimed that Tesla delivered its first car fully autonomously from the factory to the customer. This happened last week, where Elon Musk claims that Tesla delivered its first autonomous car from the factory to a customer's home across town. They shared the video with it. Nobody in the car. It just kind of did its thing. And if that's true, our own expert Tesla guy, Fred Lambert, says that it's actually a bigger deal than the robo-taxi, which is being driven with supervisors. But there are still questions about the value of such a system. That said, not if you're a bank. If you're a bank and you're loaning money against these assets, or you're Tesla and you're leasing these out and somebody misses their payments, which is bound to happen in a bad economy, especially with a number of your core customers suddenly turning on you because of your political ambitions, the ability to simply hit a button and recall those vehicles and have them repossess themselves, whether you've made a payment or not, is something that is definitely going to have value to a lot of corporations. So again, I think there's a lot of different ways to look at this. You know, I'm a finance guy. I like to talk about vehicle financing, dealership financing. I think that is a much bigger story. We'll get to that later on this month. Elon said to bet on Tesla delivering robotaxi in June, yet those who did lost big. Elon Musk said a few weeks ago that betting on Tesla delivering its promised robotaxi in June of 2025 was a money-making opportunity, and yet those who listened to him just lost big. And one fan even lost $50,000 betting on the launch of a Tesla robotaxi. You can see the original tweet here where Musk calls this on Polymarket a money-making opportunity. Less than 2 weeks ago, the market gave Tesla a 14% chance of launching, and that's where Musk called it that. At the time, less than $500,000 was being traded on the market, but Musk has made it way more popular, and now more than $7 million is being traded. While Tesla claims to have launched its robotaxi service on June 22nd, the market currently gives Tesla less than 1% chance today, that would be yesterday, with less than a day left in June. Each prediction market has a clear resolution, and Musk evidently didn't read them before suggesting there was money to be made. The market will resolve to yes if Tesla publicly launches a driverless taxi service by June 30th at 11:59 p.m. Otherwise, it will resolve to no. Any service that allows a member of the general public to summon and ride in a Tesla vehicle operating without any human on board or remote actively controlling the vehicle will count. A human may be present in the vehicle or monitoring remotely for emergency intervention, but they must not be physically positioned to take control. For example, no safety driver in the driver's seat, and must not actively steer, brake, accelerate, or otherwise drive the car under normal operation. A program that is restricted to Tesla employees, invite-only testers, closed beta participants, factory self-delivery features, or the mere release of full self-driving software for private owner drivers will not qualify. Regulatory permits or approvals, press demonstrations, and prototype unveilings without live public ridership likewise will not count towards resolution. The market's resolution source will be a consensus of credible reporting, like us here at Electrek. Yeehaw! Now, why would Musk basically come out and say that this is a money-making opportunity? The answer is he's an egomaniacal psychotic who basically cannot in any way admit to being wrong and throws an absolute baby-like hissy fit whenever something doesn't go his way. That's just my opinion. Of course, I'm sure the facts don't back that up in any way, shape, or form. Now, there are a few things in the resolution that disqualify what Tesla launched on June 22nd. First, human inside the vehicle ready to take control with their finger on an active kill switch. We've also seen several interventions from the in-car Tesla supervisor who are still very, very necessary. Secondly, the resolution requires a launch that is not restricted to an invitation-only basis, which is currently the case. Finally, the level of remote operations could also prove challenging to confirm, as is part of the resolution. Electrek found someone who lost $50,000 following Musk's money-making opportunity, seen here. 420, position value 5670, profit loss negative 45, 277.36, volume traded 420,000. That's a lot of money, guys. So yeah, if you're out there betting on this stuff, I don't know, maybe ask us what you think, or better, ask Ford CEO Jim Farley what he thinks. He shut down rumors that Tesla full self-driving deal was imminent with Ford and said that Waymo had the better solution. Farley confirmed that Ford has been in talks with Tesla, but believes that Waymo is the way forward, citing that LiDAR, which Waymo uses but Tesla does not, is a critical part of self-driving. Farley was asked what approach made the more sense by Fortune. To us, Waymo, he said. He pointed out that both Waymo, owned by Google parent Alphabet, and Tesla have made a lot of progress on self-driving, and Farley acknowledged that he has had conversations with Elon Musk, but stated that Ford considered LiDAR to be an important part of the picture, noting that where the camera will be completely blinded, the LiDAR system, LiDAR, you guys like to comment about that, so I'll give it to you both ways, will see exactly what's in front of you. Ford invested approximately $1 billion in Argo AI, a self-driving startup in partnership with Volkswagen. However, that ceased funding that company in 2022, and Argo AI was subsequently dissolved, with the two automakers integrating Argo's tech. After this setback, Ford said it would partner with self-driving companies once the technology was further developed. Meanwhile, Waymo has been securing deals with Toyota and Hyundai about integrating its self-driving tech into their consumer vehicles. Moving on from the world of passenger cars, we're looking at big electric semi-trucks, and Volvo has just delivered its 5,000th electric semi with very little fanfare, sending a big message to the rest of the industry, with the Tesla Semi making headlines consistently since its first public appearance way back in 2017. You might think they were some kind of market leaders. Meanwhile, Volvo Trucks has quietly delivered 5,000 electric semis, and they are just getting started. Volvo delivered its first all-electric semis in 2019. Since then, customers in more than 50 countries around the world have logged more than 100 million all-electric miles, more than half of that in the last 14 months, as the size of the deployed electric fleet continues to grow. In real-world commercial operations, eliminating massive amounts of carbon and nitrous emissions and reducing traffic noise, all the while making life a little bit cleaner and quieter for the people who live and work near the roads and terminals these trucks work in. These are massive achievements, and Volvo truck executives are very rightly proud of themselves for making them happen. Quote, "It's rewarding to see that transport companies continue to embrace the benefits of electric trucks in a wide range of transport segments." That's according to Roger Alm, president of Volvo Volvo trucks. Volvo's battery electric trucks are available here and now, providing our customers and transport buyers with a more sustainable alternative that makes business sense. And many of our customers are coming back to help us grow the electric fleet. Now, that's good news for Volvo, good news for the industry. And industry telematics leader Geotab has analyzed a ton of data from thousands of connected commercial vehicles throughout last year. And using their data-driven insights, they have focused on U.S. truck stop locations, medium heavy-duty vehicle driving range, and routes. And they have come to the conclusion that I would have already told you, but they finally put the math to it. Electric vehicles are real road ready. Right now, they're saying that about 58% of medium duty trucks and 41% of heavy duty trucks are ready to electrify today, basing that on the fact that most of those trucks drive less than 250 miles between depots where they have longer stops, more than enough time for them to charge. The study focused on medium and heavy duty truck data gathered from driving patterns, routes, and stops on real roads to determine the feasibility of electric and alternative fuel truck adoption to help identify the most strategic locations for charging infrastructure build out. Now, of course, in any study like this, the value is in the sample size. So just how many Geotab connected trucks were there in the study? It's a lot. In 2024 alone, the vehicles logged and analyzed more than 700 million miles of driving. So they have put in the work, and apparently the maths, we are not in the messy middle anymore, kids. These trucks are ready. So moving on from all the trucks, you guys know, if you've been a listener of this show, we like to end these talking about sustainability, talking about the environment, talking about the grid. Today is going to be no different. U.S. solar sets new records as renewables nearly match natural gas. Solar provided more than 10% of total U.S. electrical generation in April. Wind and solar produced almost 1/4, and the mix of all renewable energy generated nearly 1/3, according to data just released by the U.S. Energy Information Administration. EIA's latest monthly electric power monthly report, which has data through April 30th, was reviewed by Sunday Campaign, confirming that solar continues to be the fastest growing source of U.S. electricity. In April alone, electrical generation by utility scale solar increased by 11.8%. Combined utility grade and residential solar grew by 31% and provided 10% of U.S. electrical output. Utility scale solar, thermal, and PV expanded 42%, while that from small scale systems rose another 11% during the first third of 2025 compared to the same period in 2024. As a result, solar generated electricity easily surpassed hydropower output at 6%. In fact, solar is now producing more electricity than hydropower, biomass, and geothermal combined. That's all we've got for today, July 1st. Be sure to check out electrek.co, where we will have all the show notes, all the links. I'll put a link to that if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're listening along on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or all that good stuff, be sure to hit like and subscribe. And welcome back.